deadline for signing up for health insurance is February.
Not like any other Wednesday.
That's not right.
Wednesday.
February 15th. February 15th. In many cases, you can get health insurance for less than $100 a month. Just go to healthcare.gov to figure out how to sign up. February 15th.
That was President Obama's Buzzfeed video promoting healthcare.gov before the Obamacare enrollment deadline. The video went viral and has been viewed nearly 50 million times. With us now from Capitol Hill, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Sylvia Burwell. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
So I guess that's why, Joe, I was sort of uncomfortable when we showed that video at first. I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, because it is the way to reach people. Sylvia, would you agree? And how effective has it been in getting people to sign up?
So one of the things we focused on as part of this open enrollment is meeting the consumers where they are and making sure that there's a quality consumer experience. And that is part of meeting the young people that we're very interested in making sure that they have the opportunity to get affordable coverage. And so, as you mentioned, it was viewed by over 50 million folks. And so we are reaching people and they are accessing this information.
So 11.4 million Americans have signed up. Does that match what you guys had projected or what your stated goals were?
So our stated goals were 9.1 million people over the period of time would pay for that care, and the number that you just mentioned are the number of folks that have signed up, and we believe we had a strong open enrollment and made good progress. There'll be puts and takes to that number over the year until we get to the next open enrollment, but believe it was strong progress against our goals.
Steve Ratner, you have some charts?
Well, I have some charts that essentially back up what Sylvia was just saying. And so if you take a look at the first one, she mentioned the 11.4 million people who've signed up so far, not all of whom will end up paying their premiums and be part of the plan. But if 10 million do, which is the expectation, it'll be well ahead of that 9.1 million goal that she mentioned. But in addition to that, there are a couple other things that are happening that are really also important and contributing to the overall success. One is the number of people who are buying qualified health insurance plans off the exchange. These are plans that now meet the standards of the Affordable Care Act rather than those substandard plans that we heard a lot about. And of course there's the expansion of Medicaid, which has been resisted by a number of states but is still going in effect in most states, and that will add 13.4. So if you look at just these three key provisions of the law, 31.5 million, it's going to be more before it's over, have been touched by Obamacare. And the other, I think, important point that resonates with me anyway is how many more people have gotten insurance than had insurance before this all started. And so if you look at this chart, you'll see that at the moment it appears that there's going to be something like 13.5 million people who were not insured before, out of the 42 million people who did not have insurance before this all started, who will now have insurance